Had to randomly restart the computer at work. I guess Windows does its thing. So I'm a couple of minutes late. My apologies. But here we are. Coffee Talk from Orlando. Yeah, baby. Even though what you don't know is that while I've been in Houston, Coffee Talk has emanated from Orlando the entire time. We did this remote thing. So anyway, but I'm at the controls, Coffee Talk, based out of my house today, and it is a lovely day. Look at our Tower Cam network. Oh my gosh. Welcome back to the frayed Daytona Beach Tower Cam, looking gorgeous in high definition. The sun kissing the shoreline. It is a lovely morning. Oh man. Is it good to be home or is it good to be home? Am I right? I think so. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. Let's look at our first warning live Doppler radar, check in and see how things are doing. And we are looking lovely today, aren't we? Quiet scan. Nothing to see. Let's check Melbourne radar. Quiet. Tampa radar. Quiet. Yeah. So we're doing fine. Temperatures around Central Florida, 72 in Orlando. It's 68 degrees right now. In the Villages, 77. Yowza. In Melbourne, nice and warm. So where do we go from here? Well, let's start off with our temperatures, right? 82 by 11 o'clock, 86 degrees by 1 p.m., and 90 degrees, our high temperature on the day. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day, my friends. Partly cloudy skies. Oh, toasty warm temperatures. Here's a look around Central Florida at our readings. 90 degrees in Orlando. 89 in St. Cloud, 85 degrees in Palm Bay. So it is a toasty, toasty day. Yep. Jeannie Rowan, good morning to you. Welcome back to Orlando. Thank you very much, my dear. It's good to be home. I'm very happy. It's been a couple of days since I've had my coffee, and I now have my coffee again. So I'm definitely happy about that. John, good morning. The snow finally stopped yesterday in Utah and the sun came out. Or you could move to Florida, right? Come back to Florida where this is the way it goes. Colleen says, love these temps. I do too, Colleen. It's lovely. I don't care who you are, what you're doing. That's great weather. Now, it's Thursday, so we're going to get a new drought monitor, but I did want to discuss what we've got now. Of course, it's literally coming down the pike at like 9 a.m. Most of Central Florida currently under a severe drought under the drought monitor, with the rest of town under a moderate drought. I would anticipate that severe drought parameter to continue to spread around much of the rest of town. So keep that in mind. These drought conditions are not getting any better. And because of that, the concern continues to grow, okay? When we look at the burn bans around Central Florida, there are many locations that are under burn bans. And today's Keach-Byram Drought Index continues to show many locations now under that orange. It's getting worse. It's getting bad. Kevin Johnson, I'm back. What's up, Trail Mix? Christine says, moving back to Florida soon. Come on down. We need some rain, so when you come with your smile, could you bring us a little bit of sunshine and then rain? Yeah, I don't know. Jeannie Rowan, you were just a joy to watch in Houston. You had smiles for miles. Thank you. It was truthfully a once-in-a-lifetime trip, and I'm so grateful that I got to share it with you guys and gals, and know that in our Artemis coverage leading up to the launch of Artemis 2, I look forward to further nerding out. Y'all, speaking of space, there is a launch tonight. It's late. It's like 12:30 tomorrow morning. But it has good weather at least. Yay, that's fun. Falcon 9 can never take that for granted. Sounds good, John. Sounds good. Debbie says, my son is loving this weather. It's great for us to spend one-on-one time together, beach days every day. I love that. I love hearing about that. But Beverly says, rain, please. Yes. Yeah, we need the rain. Okay, so do you remember we were tracking last week in Volusia County the Doublegate fire? It's still a thing, okay? It's grown to over 3,000 acres. The Division of Forestry has been rather busy tracking this. I know that it jumped some containment lines, so that's been a struggle for them. We expect an update from the Division of Forestry, actually, at some point this morning. You know? So, yeah. Curious to hear. Now, at least in terms of smoke, it's blowing smoke away from I-4, so that's good news for I-4 travelers, okay? But yeah, a briefing. Actually, it's an 8 a.m. briefing today. I was just looking at when the Florida Forest Service plans on putting out their update. So there's an 8 a.m. briefing, so we'll get new information on this. But over 3,000 acres, that southeasterly wind is pushing it up toward Flagler County. So for us, at least, that's good news. But with these dry conditions, things are getting worse and worse and worse. The good news, though, is that these dry conditions will eventually end up in the rearview mirror. We do have a chance of rain coming these next couple of days, okay? So just take a look. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 30, 40, 50% coverage of rain. That's not nothing, okay? Now, let's look at as far out as our Futurecast can, okay? It's not the super long range, but at least, you know, let's use what we can, and then we can go to the global GFS and the European to kind of peak as well. So here we are, some showers. It's trying to throw in a sprinkle or two out west today. You know, don't be surprised if that happens. I for one, would love that sort of thing. We truthfully need the rainfall, so any little bit that we can get that can help us out, help the cause a little bit. Certainly, I think everybody in unison will be shouting from the rooftops. Before we go on, let me just look at the rain chances today. Low-end chance of rain, but there is that chance of rain out west, okay? All right, cool beans. All right. From there, we continue on to tomorrow. Looking good. Mix of clouds and sunshine. Couple of showers out, particularly metro area off to the west. All right. We got that. Continuing on. Saturday, more clouds around, more moisture. See some rain out east of town. Right? And then you notice, there you go, like Saturday evening even, Seabreeze kind of deal over the metro area. That would not be a bad idea. And then the moisture will build into Sunday, but you can see the timeline goes, the Futurecast does not. So that's as far out as Futurecast goes. Really, the best data that we've got, the end of the best data is going to be Saturday night. But Saturday night does look to have a little bit of rainfall. So there's that to contend with. All right. Let's see, Beverly. Question, why does the burn risk say abnormal under the lowest risk color? Oh, you're talking about the drought index? Because that's the categorical statement. Abnormally dry, moderately dry, severe drought, extreme drought, and exceptional drought. Yeah, that's their scale for the drought monitor. So, not good. Definitely not good. We need the rain. Taylor says, I smelled it in Ormond, Daytona yesterday. Certainly you smelled it smoldering, but it's not like the smoke was all blowing your direction. So there's that. Dana says, welcome home, Eric. Your trip sounded like so much fun. It was so much fun. And I was just listening to the Today Show today, and like the Artemis 2 astronauts are on the Today Show, and I'm like, I met them. Frank says, so when they say 100% contained, that means absolutely nothing. Wrong, Frank. It means that in that moment, it's 100% contained. Yeah, think maybe things could change? Yep. So for right now, it is 75% contained. Not fully, but we're getting there. All right. Let's see here. I'll believe it when I see it. Oh, the rain chances? I know. So what's the overall pattern, though? Like, what's leading to this? So here we are. It's hot. That's the pattern today. There's your sign. Now, look out west. Okay, you've got this little storm system that's trying to coagulate and come together tomorrow, staying hot and dry. But that moisture starts to work our direction, and we start moistening up the atmosphere on Saturday as a little piece of energy develops. And then right there, Sunday into Monday, there's going to be a little area of low pressure off of our east coast. I discussed this in our afternoon coffee talk yesterday, but that's the piece of the overall weather pattern, or at least over the next few days, referring to what was Nicole, and it's a part of our cycling weather pattern here. So we're starting to watch the Nicole part of the pattern, and it's not there on Sunday. It's like the 11th, 12th. We'll watch it, but that's it. So it'll be interesting to kind of watch and see how that progresses as the models continue to do their thing. John's, the models show Florida rain by 412 when the Nicole recycle happens. Yeah, I mean, that's it. If we look at the raw model data here, and I have not looked at this yet, but if we just look at the raw model data, okay, this is the GFS, and you can see the timestamp on the top right of your screen there. There's that frontal moisture around the 9th, 10th. Yeah, and then you've got that little piece of energy there. The models are kind of showing low pressure. They don't really know where to put it, but yeah, that's Nicole moisture. Look at that. It's actually interesting. It's giving us a pretty wet setup, which really, really could do some help, It'll be interesting to see how it eventually all plays out. But let's just pop over and look at our 7-day forecast here. Like, decent chances of rain. 30, 40, 50%, right? Now, the bad news is that this does include Easter Sunday. But the good news is that it includes rain, and we're talking about some decent rain. So let's look at our, and this is going to be Saturday morning through Wednesday. Yeah, Saturday through Wednesday. Okay, couple of things to just digest here. First off, you've got two very different model outputs, right? Like the European showing the eastern sections getting the yellows and the oranges. I mean, friends, we're talking, the model's saying in some cases 3 to 5 inches of rain, whereas the GFS is like, yeah, there'll be a sliver of about 1 to 2. So big difference from model to model. But if there's one thing to pick up from this, it's that there's a chance of rain. Okay, there's a chance of rain, and certainly that is an optimistic thing. Brian's asking, Eric, I'm curious, how are the drought level numbers calculated as to how much rain is needed to get out of the drought? So the drought index, the drought monitor, this map, okay, it's put together by the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, all right? And essentially, I'm just kind of trying to go through the summary, because I could tell you the Keach-Byram Drought Index, but this is a little different. Okay, here we are. So the Drought Monitor map identifies general areas of drought and labels them by intensity. And we see these intensity levels. Okay. D0 areas, which is abnormal. D0 areas are not in drought but are experiencing abnormally dry conditions that could turn into drought or are recovering from drought. We generally include description on the map, short-term, long-term droughts, etc. So yeah, it's their own kind of calculations. All right, and they will release the new information today. I believe it's 9 a.m. All right. One interesting thing as well, when we're looking, Florida is absolutely in this drought, And there are parts of southwest Florida that are in that extreme drought condition. But look out to the plains. There are areas here, for example, that are not just in severe drought, but you're talking exceptional drought condition. So it's not just Florida that's dealing with these drought conditions, right? There are many other parts of the country that are dealing with worse drought conditions. Now, in terms of the Keach-Byram drought, so that's the drought monitor. If we look at the Keach-Byram, and again, these are just different metrics. The drought monitor is a broader scale. The Keach-Byram is a much more localized scale, okay? So the Keach-Byram, this is essentially how much rain do we need, okay, to get the soil saturated back to non-drought conditions, okay? So for our numbers, for example, these oranges that you're seeing, those are numbers ranging from 550 to 599. The scale goes from 0, which is totally soggy, like Flagler County's in the 300s, that's the blues. Okay, Marion County, you're in the 450s to 499s. Okay, when you hit 500, which is yellow, which is Seminole and Volusia, that's considered like burn ban territory. And these orange counties, that's 550 to 599. The scale goes up to 750. So we're approaching 600. We're definitely on the drier end of the scale. We're definitely in a rougher part of the scale. So there's different definitions, right? But I think one way to clearly visualize this is just by looking at the yearly rain deficits, right? Like Orlando is 6 inches behind where we should be. Leesburg is 6.5 inches of rain behind where we should be. So these are the different metrics, and it's not a one size fits all situation. The only thing that'll fit all is some rain in the forecast, and at least we do have that. But that's it. Sonia says, so what you're saying is my pool won't be finished next week. God, if they're telling you it's going to be finished next week, I still wouldn't believe it. Nothing goes on time. You know that, Sonia. You're smarter than that. All right. So that's where it's that. That was Kansas and exceptional. Yeah, Kansas. I can't remember where else it was, but yeah, Kansas. Kansas was the zeroed in section. Tommy's asking if he can see my underwear. No. Debbie says Facebook is not cooperating today. I apologize. Rosebud says we need a hurricane amount of rain. What we need is just a bunch of moisture. It can be from a tropical system. It could be from a good old-fashioned area of low pressure, that sort of thing. That's all we need. All right. Michael, graphics nerd question. Do you have to go type in the data, or do you have computer programs that automatically feed it? So, Michael, it's a little of both, bud. It just depends on what the metrics are. It just depends on what piece of data it is. But I can tell you, we try to automate as much data ingestion as is possible. Like the Keach-Byram drought index data is not automated in our weather computer. But Alex and I figured out how to automate it. The drought monitor is automated in the weather computer, so everybody has that. But the Keach-Byram drought index, nope. Alex Alisi and I coded that in the weather computer. So there's little pieces of information that are automatic, and then there's a bunch of stuff that Alisi and I go and code and figure out how to do. And now we have ChatGPT to help us code, which is even cooler. Yeah. All right. So that's where we're at. Of course, Chris. Of course. Bye, Terry. Vet appointment. Go do your thing. Debbie, noticed the orange watch band. Oh, yeah, still going Space Shuttle Orange for today. If I'm honest, I love the orange band. Like, I can't do it on TV when I'm on the air, but I still love it. Debbie, I know you've had a busy week, but wondering if there's a drive-through tomorrow. You know what? I have given it absolutely zero thought. So If I can find somebody, then sure. If not, then no. Yeah. Michael says the coding part of the job is the part that most people never see. Oh, yeah. And listen, there's so much data that Alex and I have coded. Seriously. The stuff that comes in here automatically, it's wild. Like for example, nobody else... The weather computer automatically delivers this. Delay programs, okay? So, yeah. Every TV station just about can show you this. What they can't show you live and automatically is this. Alex and I have coded this. You know, there's a lot of those kinds of things. Like, that's live and automatic. I don't have to touch that. I think every 5 minutes it goes and scrubs the database. There's things like that, you know. Rosebud, it's okay with no. I'm okay with no drive-through guest. Yeah, if I can find somebody in a day's time, yeah. I don't know. If I can find somebody, that'll be fun. If not, I'm certain that you will all understand. Yeah, I've been playing out at Disney. Not at Disney, Jesus. Felt like it, but I've been playing out at NASA. So, listen, at the end of the day, we need the rainfall. I don't love that it's coming Easter weekend, but it is what it is. 30, 40% on Easter Sunday. Now, in terms of the timeline, at least, here's the good part, okay? Let's plan for Easter Sunday, right? Looking at the forecast, maybe a shower or two in the morning, but I think it's going to be a widest spread event in the afternoon on Sunday, okay? So, at the very least, get a little bit of moisture. Mike's weather page. Good morning. Tropics waking up early. It is the Nicole Recycle. The Nicole Recycle should be happening around the 11th, 12th. So, but that's also an indication that the Nicole part of the pattern loves to get vigorous, which means, y'all, we're going to have some activity. Okay, so what am I talking about the Nicole part of the pattern? All right. If you have not followed along, and that's totes fine if you haven't. Give me 2 seconds and I'll pull this up. Browse. Come on, Chrome. Wesh.com. Come on. I've got some people watching. Wesh.com/hurricane forecast. Okay? Wesh.com/hurricane forecast. So this is the actual forecast that I put together with Jeremy Nelson. We put it together March the 1st. I mean, it was put together before that, certainly, but, you know. And it's not been updated since it was released on March the 1st. All right, I'm just going to shrink this so that it looks good on your screen. Oh, no, I do not want... I already get all these emails from the news department in general. Okay. All right, so here is that forecast. All right. And in it, I discuss... Oh, that's 2022. That is the old one. Hold on. No. Wesh.com. If I refresh, why is it going to hurricane forecast? That's so weird. Wesh 2023 hurricane season forecast. There we go. Okay. All right. So here's the... I'm going through like all this trouble. There it is. Okay. So it was updated March the 1st, 2023. All right. So the overall idea for the hurricane forecast, right, is to show these landfall hotspots, but we get into the timing. And the Nicole part of the pattern, okay, I could tell you right now, the Nicole part of the pattern, I don't have a date listed in April, but I can tell you, if you take May the 30th, let's just use May the 30th, 51, hold on, why is Chrome being such a putz this morning? 51 days before May 30, 2023. Okay, 51 days before May the 30th is going to be April 9th. So, in other words, the Nicole part of the pattern is showing up from April 9th to June the 3rd. From April 9th to April 13th. So from April 9th to April 13th, that's the Nicole part of the pattern, right? And we're seeing that playing out. There's your sign. So anyway, are the tropics waking up early? Could be. That's the Nicole part of the pattern. Long story long. Good God, it took me forever to tell that story, and I apologize, y'all. But it's there, Mike. It's there. It's not going to be exactly mirrored, but it's the piece of that puzzle that's showing up. Shelly says no hurricanes. We're not going to get a hurricane next week. We're not going to get a hurricane. But there's going to be some moisture, and it's going to be a real pain in the tuchus. Except we need it. And so to that point, yeah, it's something interesting. Chris says, speaking of April, tell me, Chris, speaking of April, what? Tell me. Patty says, take a hike, Nicole. Listen, we can all say take a hike, Nicole. I'm totally good with that. Except here's the thing. This one I have no problem with. The Nicole part of and I'll show you the bigger, fancier looking graphic. It's unchanged. But the part of the Nicole that I don't want is coming later on, right? It's this part of the pattern come May or July, or particularly September, right? Like we'll be transitioning into an El Nino stretch, but these parts of the pattern are still going to be showing up. So that's the part of the long range pattern that's cycling in the next couple of days. Yes, we need the rain. The last time that it happened, the Nicole part of the pattern, it was very, very weak. It was Daytona 500 weekend, and we had just a couple of showers, right? But it's consistently shown up every 50, 51 days or so, give or take a couple of days. And I'm not going to sit here and try and explain to you how it's so perfect. Long-range forecasting is not perfect. But what it is it's a trend. It gives you these ideas, okay? These little teleconnections. Chris says, I put severe weather on the April calendar for the Nicole part of the pattern. Hopefully we don't have severe, but the energy's there, So, yeah, we'll see. Look at Chris. Chris filling in the gaps that I can't do. Thank you, buddy, for helping me. Ay vey. So, yeah, there's that. That'll be interesting. Funny, Jeremy was worried because the computer models were like going a little off on his times, and he's like, dude, do we need to adjust the dates? And I'm like, it looks pretty consistent to me, and it's still playing out to be pretty consistent. So, yeah, there's that. Listen, hurricane season is right around the corner, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But that first version of Nicole will be at the end of May. We're seeing it cycling through right now. So let's do this, right? Like over these next few days, let's watch and see how that progresses. That's going to be the next hint for the Nicole part of the pattern. All right? We do need the rain so badly. Yeah, so let's just take what we can get with it, right? Patty, 100%. Becca says, I just hope it doesn't rain on my birthday, May 2nd. We'll see. All right, any other questions, comments, concerns before we put this puppy to bed? Anything? It's a shame we have to look forward to hurricane season just so we can get some rain. Tony coming in with the real reality. Chris, all I did was look over your shoulder and copy your work. That's fine. Hey, that's fine. I appreciate you filling in the gaps that I can't do. So I appreciate that very much so. Nancy says it beats fire dangers. Listen, at the end of the day, it's all connected. Yeah. Debbie says our retention pond is so low. Poor living creatures in there, fish and turtles. Mine too. The retention pond behind my house is rough. Allergy index, Gene. I don't have the graphic built. I don't know that Kellyanne did. 1 second. We're high. Yeah, we're high. Confirmed, we're high. What we need is a sod soaker. I hope so, Beverly. I hope so. When is the Artemis 2 launch? Michael's asking. Targeting the end of 2024, but I will tell ya, between you and me, some of the folks that I talked to out there were not terribly optimistic with that date. So, may end up sliding to 2025. But safety is the primary concern. So as NASA Administrator Bill Nelson told me personally when we had him on for our Artemis 1 coverage, the rocket will launch when it's ready. The crew will launch when they're ready. There's no room for error in space. So, and I could tell you, having seen those facilities firsthand, they are testing everything right down to. Listen, this may be so boring to most people, but not to me. I spoke to engineers, mechanical engineers, whose sole job it was, I kid you not, to come up with sand and dirt synthetics to mirror the raglan that they've got on the moon. Because right down to dusting off the spacesuit boots, they have to practice that. There is no room for failure in space. Mary says the Artemis crew is working the crowds on the Today Show right now. I listened to the interview. It was great. Yeah. Debbie, did you connect with Victor again in Houston? I didn't connect with him again. Slide into his DMs and get him on Coffee Talk Drive-Thru. Wouldn't that be something? Oh my God, that would be something. I feel like I have to go through like the NASA press office for that. Chris says, also, they can't hear you scream in space. Yeah, and I believe that Revenge is also best served on a dish served cold. And it's very cold in space. Anyway, it's another Wrath of... I know I've already used that one again. All right, enough. It's 8:37. We've yantered it up enough. But also, they can't hear you scream in space. So let's just not make them do that, right? Yep. All right. That's all I got for you, okay? So listen. I'll see you at 3:30 today. Does that work? Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you for hanging out for Coffee Talk. And I'll see you at 3:30. We'll check in on some of the latest models, see how we're doing, and hopefully we'll get a good old-fashioned gully washer for us this weekend into next week. Sound good to y'all? Sounds good to me. All right, be good, y'all. I'll also tweet out the updated drought monitor when it comes down, okay? Okay. Oh, and it's my day off, so I'm going to be doing things around the house, mowing the lawn and all that. All right, bye, y'all.